Hello guys, this is Bull Cable back with another video, and today we're back with Clash Royale, and this is actually the global release day that I'm actually doing this video. Now I thought this would be a good idea to make a really cool sort of deck build for you guys, and I've actually got something pretty cool for you. This is the tank deck. Now if you have a look here, we've got basically some of the most highest health and highest damage actually troops, I don't know, troops, cards, whatever you want to call it, in the game. Now we've got the giant, huge amount of health. We've got, well, level 5's nearly got 3,000 health. We've got the skeleton, giant skeleton, really good, 2,000 health. We've got the P.E.K.K.A. with basically nearly the same amount of health as the giant. Then we've also got the prince, pretty high health as well. We've got a nice baby mini P.E.K.K.A. That's good, and I was going to implement a little bit higher damage stuff as well. The wizard has also got kind of high health. Actually, not really. I'm not including towers because some of them do have a higher health. But obviously we need some long-ranged cards like the archers, because we need to them behind the tanks. It just needs to happen. And we also need at least one air card, because if we have troops, we just need air. We just need something that can take out air as well. That's why we have these 3 cards here that can at least deal with air. So I tried to make this at least a plausible deck. Now you're gonna see the replays in a minute, and they're okay. It could be better, but the first attack is pretty good actually. You'll see here the first attack that I do with this. Here we go. Let's try this. Let's see this deck. This deck pretty much is actually a very defensive deck as well. Something that I didn't actually expect would happen when I actually made this. It is a very defensive deck, and I'm still not really sure how it is. I just found it really quite good in terms of defense. They were having a hard time getting over to me just because I only need to place a little tank and all the troops get distracted by it. That's why I love the giant skeleton. I actually was implementing the giant skeleton into one of my recent decks, and I really like it. It's only level 1, but it can take a whole horde out. The weaknesses of this deck are obviously, you probably have noticed, I've got no projectile cards like your fireball, your archers or anything like that. So that really does affect when they have like swarms of enemies, because they can swarm the tanks pretty easily. So I think this was a draw. I'm not really sure. I think this was a draw, this game, and you're just going to see that. I'm actually going to put it on ×2. I should probably speed the game up. If I can, yeah, here we go. We're going to put it on ×4, sorry, just to speed the game up, because we have got a few replays for you guys to actually see. So I actually make a pretty good rush there with the prince. With the prince, it's a very good card, the prince. I actually pushed there. You really need cover with the giant skeleton. I've got the P.E.K.K.A. there as well. We actually lost one of my towers because I was getting a bit greedy. I should have never pushed with a skeleton. It was a big mistake. But we managed to push up a little bit as well. Them big massive minion groups are a pain in the ass for the strategy. That's why we need to push up with some sort of anti-air as well. So there we go, the game was over, and we were probably going to lose it in the end anyway, but we had some elixir still to spend. We managed to draw the game, and we came to the end. So here we go with the second replay here. Watch, right. This one is a little bit better. Actually we lose, but I think there's some better gameplay in it. For you guys, let's have a look here. So we lay the P.E.K.K.A. first, the archers, we're pushing up quite nicely, but he gets that musketeer away, and it's pretty good. Mini P.E.K.K.A. What do I think about the mini P.E.K.K.A.? Now to be perfectly honest with you, I don't really see it being used that much. I don't know what it's like higher level, It's a pretty underused card, and it's just because it's quite a high elixir cost for kind of a small damage, slow fire rate. Well, no, it's got high damage, pretty mediocre health, and the fire rate's quite low. But as you can see there, I nearly took the guy out there. He only had 194 health left, but we were getting rushed anyway. So if I had a projectile there, I could have stayed in the game a little bit longer. We should probably have switched out the projectile for maybe the P.E.K.K.A. P.E.K.K.A is probably the most underused tank I use. It's just because it's quite high cost, and the damage is huge, and it can be easily distracted though, which is a big problem. Here we go with the third attack, and this will actually I've done quite a few attacks with this. We'll go with this one here. We'll try this one out. This is the one with the giant balloon. I definitely remember this very well. The giant balloon is a pretty big counter to me if I have no air troops. You're going to see this in a minute. As you can see, after I lay this minion horde, I have nothing to counter air. He lays the balloon, and I've got nothing. I can do absolutely nothing. He takes my tower down to 94 health pretty early on in the game, and that was a big mistake. So I tried to push back, and he's just completely countering me all the way. He's got the balloon towers, he's got everything. So we know this is going to be a lost game. It's a bit of a fun anyway. It's not a deck, it's actually serious, guys. It's not a serious deck. So you guys, it's just a deck you can try fun out, maybe with your friends in a friendly. Just a little idea. I've got the last attack for you guys, just to show you that this is nothing to do with the deck. This is just the deck I'm using at the moment. As you can see, I won the battle. I'm going to put it on times 2 and talk through the deck that I'm actually using at the moment. This is the deck that I'm using to push up, and it's pretty good actually. It's the giant, and it's all about pushing the skeleton with the bomb. I love this skeleton with the bomb. It's so good at taking out group targets, and it does a lot of damage as well. He's got that bomb tower, which is pretty good against me actually, but some of my air troops definitely counter that. I also have a thing about decks, is I have to have at least 2 air troops, whether that's the minion horde, the big the dragon, for goodness sake, the mini dragon, and it's just so good. Speaking of the new update, as you guys can see, that there is new cards and stuff at the higher level gameplay. If I actually want a new card in the game, I think they're gonna make a tank flying card. That would be so good. That would be like a well, not an absolute full-on tank, but a pretty good health flyer. And I think they'll make the actual dragon instead of the mini dragon, which would be absolutely crazy. But as you can see here, I always push with the skeleton and then the giant, because the skeleton always takes out the troops first. So it's a pretty good push, and a lot of people are using hogs, and that's why I use the skeleton spawner. Skeleton spawner is absolutely amazing for taking out hogs. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's just my basically tank deck. Please subscribe for more Clash Royale videos, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.